Yo, JD here, Tyrrell Limus, and we are at Singapore here today. And first of all, let's do a quick tour of this circuit. Braking just after the black box, take as much curve as you can on the entry and exit. Nice late apex for the seekers, of course, early on the traction. Going under the bridge now, won't be looking for that black box again as you hit that. Slow in, fast out, just narrowly missing that wall, getting the DRS as early as possible. Going up through the gears now, keeping it in 7th gear, let the engine do the braking just before you hit the curb. That's when you'll be turning early and out on the exit again. Just before the 50-meter ball, that's where you will be turning in really aggressive on the throttle coming on through here. Just before the black box, that's your turning in point. Very difficult corner, probably the hardest corner on the track as we actually hit the wall there coming through this sequence. As you hit that red and white bollard, that's when we'll be turning in early in, fast exit here. Stay nice and tight to the right hand side, stay super tight to the apex without actually kissing it. Nice and early on the throttle once again, just minimising the wheel spin. And now keep it in 6th gear again, let the engine do the braking. 2nd gear at the end just to get that little extra rotation coming through here. Going up into 6th gear, down 3 gears, slow in, fast out because you don't want to compromise your line going through this corner. Again, just narrowly missing the wall just before the black box. That's your turning in point. Stay as far left as possible and mount this curb on the right. As you hit the black box, slow in 4th gear just to avoid the car just really just understeering. Going to here now, black box, down the gear just to get that extra bite into the corner, come across the line. And we've done a 33.8, and I have to say, I love that track. It's a real driver's track and feeling really comfortable with my wheel, better and better each time. So I thought this would be a good video to actually go against the 110% AI, the ultimate AI around here. We have Singapore this weekend, so why not go with Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes and just see exactly how we can do it in this 5-lap race. And you can see here, switching it to the 110, which is all the important thing, leaving all the other settings, strict corner cutting, damage on, all the good stuff. And we're literally just going to see how we can do around this circuit, which, as I said, on previous games, on the controller, it was probably one of my favourite tracks. I've never really been a fan of street tracks, but this track I've always loved pushing it to the limit, because on this one, I think if you don't push it to the limit, that's when you go and make mistakes, that's when you go into the wall, and it's super demanding. It's really hard on tyre wear, tyre temps. It's a track where you need to be smooth, but you also need to be relentless and just really super aggressive as well at the same time. So I really enjoy this one. Can't wait to get league racing in this. But we're going to go to the start of the race now. 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Trying to get a good start as we're just underway now. Trying to get a good start, but the AI always seem to get a very good start. Going on the soft tyre, of course, because this is a 5-lap race. And just slotting in behind Charles Leclerc. And now let's see what we can do against this AI. On this game, a lot of people have said that this is probably the hardest AI that it's ever been, and we're going to put this to the test now and just see if we can beat this AI, if we can survive, if we can even get a podium in this. But so far so good, managing to maintain position behind Charles Leclerc. And I noticed the AI don't really use curbs at all. They just use the racing line. It's like they're kind of on that Scale Electrics or something. But the setup I'm using here, this is actually a setup I'm using from Time Trial, so if you're on Xbox, feel free to use it. So yeah, I think default would have been pretty difficult around here, so I've decided to bolt on a setup itself, and it's working very well. Nice and aggressive going to here, trying to take the same lines. Again, he just seems to be avoiding all the curves, so take a nice super wide line, try and get some good traction. But this AI, I think it's pretty common in other games as well. They don't really seem to run out of ERS or suffer with tyre temperature or anything like that at all. So we've got to just try and just stay with him in this DRS zone. If we can stay with him for the first 3 laps, I think we might have a chance, because I'm feeling really good around this track. I grinded out this morning, as you can see, on this Fanatec DD1, which by the day, I know I complain about that probably sometimes, but by the day I am starting to fall in love with it. I'm getting back to where I was with my Thrustmaster, changing some settings every single day. And this morning I literally just grinded it out for an hour, just to see how much I can improve, and just settings that feel better for me and stuff as well. And right here you can see, I think definitely a lot more confident on the brakes, on the throttle, and just the driving itself. It's starting to feel very nice, and it feels excellent around here. Just absorbing the bumps and everything, I really feel for the first time actually proper connected to the actual game itself through the wheel, which hopefully that makes sense to you. But before, it kind of felt a little bit floaty, a little bit like on a hovercraft, but at the moment feeling very, very nice, very connected, and yeah, it's working at this point because I'm actually keeping up with this AI, and I'm really impressed with it so far. I think this is absolutely perfect of how the 110 AI should be, because I feel I've got good pace around here. You can see by the time trial, with a little bit more, I think we can definitely get the world record. So the AI is actually basically on par with what a world record lap really would be. So it feels very, very good. I'm having to work my balls off to actually keep up there. I'm trying very, very hard. You can see with the changing of the ERS and the fuel and etc. You can see he's getting away ever so slightly, but we have got a little buffer behind, so we don't have to panic about anyone behind us, but we've got him here. And it seems again the AI doesn't seem to be using the curb, so you can see in these corners really throwing in and really taking advantage, but the corners where he does benefit you to actually mount on over these. And you can see again he's avoiding these curbs like it's the plague, whereas we are just completely mounting them and just absorbing them. And going through this last corner, you can see noticeably we're gaining a little bit of time, but now we should just about be in DRS. We've done a 37.1, which is just a tenth slower than him. And you can see again on these corners just using that advantage as much as we can, and maybe he is actually suffering a little bit of tyre wear because we actually started to get into the groove a bit more now. And let's see what the straight line speed, again trying early and early in and then fast on the exit. That's kind of a slingshot corner which I always bang on about in my videos, but this one here, you can see the straight line speed of that Ferrari is just absolutely rapid in a straight line. So I think we're going to have to be a little bit closer than this if we want to mount a challenge. On that corner there, you really want to be avoiding the curb, and this is probably the hardest corner on the track, really. I think the turning in point is as the barrier creates a gap in the side and the right hand side. Once there's a gap forming, if that makes any sense, that's where you want to be turning in. But after a while, I don't really look at that. I just do it with instinct of really just how fast I'm going through the corner. And you can see here again, he's taking a relatively tight line. Let's see how much better traction we do. We're losing a little bit on traction now, so these soft tyres are very, very prone to overheating around this track. And you can see being a little bit more aggressive with the throttle. Second gear just get that extra rotation going through here. And you can see we've got a nice little gap with my teammate hassling Gasly and Vettel, seeming to be in 5th or 6th place, which let me know what you think about this weekend. You think what the predictions are. I think Leclerc after the FP3, I think he looks, he's an absolute monster. I think he's just gone up massively in confidence, and it's showing here in the game as well at this point. So starting the penultimate lap of this race, doing a bit better, tighter line this time now. And let's see, did a 37.2 this time, and let's see if we can just get close enough to DRS, as we had DRS the last lap, a little bit deep in this corner, but just going out wide. First gear sometimes you just get an extra bite into the corner, and now we're going to put it up into hot lap. Let's see if we can mount a challenge going down this DRS straight this time. Getting a pretty good exit off here, definitely closer than I was on the previous lap. Put it into hot lap or put it into overtake and rich, but we're not gaining too much time. I think we're going to have to be even closer, but you can see corners like that as he avoids the curb. That's the kind of corner where you really want to be taking curb, but this corner there, that's the corner where you don't want to be taking any curb. So taking a nice sweeping line, just trying to go out a little bit wider than him, just so I can get in the throttle just a little bit earlier, because the car ahead is always going to get in a bit earlier. But let's see if I can just get on that tad earlier and a bit before. This time taking a similar line to him. These corners are very, very tricky. Thinking about going down the inside there, but I know there's AI would probably turn into me if I actually did that, and it probably wouldn't be on in a real race anyway. So going up into high, back down to no ERS, so saving quite a bit of ERS. Don't really need to use much fuel mixture around here because it probably will overheat the engine, and it just really is just not that necessary. Third gear, slow in, fast out, trying to mount these curbs, trying to use it to drag me around these corners, being very aggressive into here, trying to stay as far left as possible. Once you hit the middle of the track, mounting this curb again, almost losing the back end here, so getting a little bit of that dirty air now. And now I'm really, really hustling this car to try and get as close to him as possible, because I probably really only have one more opportunity as we almost go off the track now. We've left the others for dead behind us, and putting it into rich mix, trying to keep it through here now. This is the closest I've definitely been so far. And let's see, getting a nice exit. No wheel spin in this car at all, so the setup is working very, very well. Using the maximum effort of the track, or maximum length of the track, put it into overtake, and let's see if I can get any sort of a slipstream. But that Ferrari is kind of like Monza. They're just almost pulling away in the DRS here. This corner again. Now I'm right up behind him, thinking about going down the inside. He actually half defends this time, which actually puts me side by side of going to this corner. He's not leaving me much room, thinking about going around the outside, but that definitely was not on there. You can see how he just slams the door shut on the exit. Let's see if there's any more opportunities. Probably down this middle straight. There's one more opportunity, trying to get as close as possible. We actually make a little bit of contact with him as well, but actually compromises me going through here. Was thinking about the inside again, just trying to do nice and wide. But let's see if we could get a good exit. But he's just got a very good traction in that Scuderia Ferrari. With Gasly still in third place as well, so my teammate Bottas has not actually overtaken him. And let's see, losing the car now, so I think the tyres are slowly but surely almost done, almost just cooked by just going side by side in those sequence of corners. Thinking of 50%, you have to be very brave to go on these tyres. And let's see what we can do for here. Gaining a little bit more time for here, but I think unless he makes a catastrophic mistake, he's going to probably seal this win. Coming across here now, going into the last corner. We turn a little bit too early, a little bit ambitious through there as the fireworks go off. We come out in P2 in this race, and I have to say, that 110AI I think was absolutely spot on for this. I was really impressed of how good that was. It wasn't too OP like we've seen in other races maybe at the start of the game, but with the patches, I feel that balance was pretty nice, to be honest. So I really enjoyed that. Hopefully you enjoyed Singapore this weekend and you enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you soon. Peace.